Hello, welcome to the Daily Bible Podcast. My name is William Hemsworth. Thank you so much for joining me for today's show. Well, we're continuing on in Matthew chapter 19, and we're going to finish with Matthew chapter, we're continuing Matthew chapter 20, Wow, there's a blast from the past. We're going to cover verses 3 through 9 today. So it's more verses than normal, and that's because it's a parable and they all kind of fit together. And we'll finish up the parable tomorrow. But, Matthew chapter 20, verses 3 through 9 are our verses today. And those verses say, "And going out about the third hour, he saw others standing idle in the marketplace. And to them he said, 'You go into the vineyard too, and whatever is right, I will give you.' So they went. Going out again about the 6th hour and the 9th hour, he did the same. And about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing, and he said to them, 'Why do you stand here idle all day?' They said to him, 'Because no one has hired us.' He said to them, 'You go into the vineyard too.' And when evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his steward, 'Call the laborers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last up to the first.' And when those hired about the 11th hour came, each of them received a denarius." So as I said yesterday, a denarius was one day's pay. That's what the owner of the vineyard in this parable agreed to pay each of the laborers, whether they worked from 6 a.m. or if they started working at 5 p.m. Because remember, the Jewish day ends at 6 p.m. That's when sundown happens, and that's when you have to be done with your work, according to Mosaic law. And so this also corresponds to stages in life. You see, all of us come to God at different times. Some of us come to Him early in life. Some of them come to Him, in midlife. Some of us come to Him at the end of our life. We all come to Him at different times. You see, whether we come to Him early in our life or later in life, we're all given a great gift. A gift that we didn't earn. Eternal life, right? God grants us that gift. Granted, we come to Him with faith, etc. Whether we come to Him at the end of our life or the beginning. And this is going to play into tomorrow as we complete this parable. But this also corresponds to salvation history. You see, God has revealed Himself early in creation. He's established various covenants with the people of Israel. There's different covenants. There's a Adamic covenant right at the beginning of Genesis, the Noahic covenant, Mosaic covenant, Davidic covenant, all the way to the New Covenant, which is for all people, including us Gentiles. And you see, those laborers that come in at the 11th hour, if you're a Gentile like me, we're the ones coming in at the 11th hour. Through God's grace and mercy, He established a new covenant for all people. So I hope this was somewhat helpful with this parable. We'll finish it off tomorrow, because the argument tomorrow is actually one I hear quite a bit from Christians as well. So thank you for joining me on today's episode of the Daily Bible Podcast, as we're going through, Matthew chapter 20 now. Not 19. Sorry about that. But thank you for joining me each and every day. It's an honor. It's a pleasure. I get a lot out of this as well. And guys, God bless you, and we'll catch you tomorrow.